So I will be discussing the lab assignment 3 on IPC. So for task 1, we have to use shared memory and pipes. So in the beginning of the program, we have to define this struct variable called shared, which will have two data types, selection and integer. So selection is the one we will be giving as input, and B is the balance. So our default balance is 1000. And the selection, we will be prompted to give input of like A for add money, W for withdraw, and C for check balance. So if we enter A, we will save this A in selection variable. Then in the beginning of the program, we have to define the pipe, right? So in class, we already saw how to define pipe. So in pipe equals to pipe FD, right? File descriptor array. Then we need to allocate the shared memory using allocate shared memory using SHM get. Then to map the shared memory, use SHM mat, right? Then after this, we have to fork. Basically, we need to fork the program. After forking, we will move on to the child process, right? So when we move to the child process, our selection is already stored in this selection variable, right? So we will do branching. So if our selection is A, it means add money, right? If selection is A, it means add money. So we need to update our balance. Update balance. Update balance by prompting user. So our balance was initially 1000. Then after updating, it will be, if we give suppose 200 as input, it will become 1200 something, right? Then if our selection was W, which means withdraw. So withdrawing means we have to like prompt the user again, prompt the user for how much they want to withdraw. Suppose they gave 200, so our initial balance was 1000, so it will become 800, right? Then if we give C, which is just check balance, it will just print how much money I have in the account. Then suppose if we give something like invalid amount, like minus 600, we have to give like an error message adding failed invalid amount. So we need to take care of those types of errors. So finally, after doing this, we currently in the child process, right? So we need to use pipe to send a message to the parent process. So how do we do that? So in the child process, we basically have to write through one end of the pipe, right? So we will just, I think the message was something like, thank you for using. So we need to send this message from the child to the parent. So we already saw in the class that we use FD1 to write. So we will use the write system call and FD1. And suppose our thank you for using is stored in a data variable, then we have to give the transfer size of data. So the child process will write. So we need to take care of the reading side. So in child process, we have to close in the beginning of the child process, we will close the reading side, which is FD0. So finally, after writing, we will move on to the parent process. So in the parent process, we will basically wait for the child to finish this work. Then we have to read the message from the pipe. So in the parent process, we will basically just read the message. So we have to close the writing side of the pipe, which is close FD1. So after reading, we will print the thank you message and remove the shared memory. So basically, to give a summary, we are using shared memory to pass the user selection and balance between the parent and child process. And the pipe is used for the child to send a termination message, thank you, back to the parent. So the parent needs to wait for the child to so that the parent can move on, right? To finish before the proceeding, right? So yeah, this was task 1. So in task 2, we have to use message passing. So let's see task 2. So similarly, in task 2, we also have a struct variable of message name, and we have 2 variables, type and text. So type is the workspace name, Cse321. So sorry, not the workspace name. So in the beginning of the program, we have to prompt the user to enter the workspace name, okay? So if it is Cse321, we can proceed with the program. If it is not 321, we won't be allowed to, we have to like print invalid workspace name. So if the input is Cse321, this statement will be printed. So if the input is Cse321, then we create the message queue. Using message get. Then we need to after creating the message queue, we need to send the message, right? So we need to send the message. So then we need to, so in this struct we have 2 variables, right? Type and text. So we need to use this. So we need to set the type of the message. Suppose I set the type as type to 5. Okay, then so we use message send to write the message to queue. The message is basically this one.